You ever look at someone who just seems to have it all together and wonder, how on earth do they do it? Well, it's not about working harder, and it's definitely not about having more hours in the day. Turns out the most effective people are running on a kind of hidden framework, a set of really powerful habits. So today, we're going to break that framework down piece by piece. So what is it? What really separates the super effective people from, well, everyone else? I mean, is it just luck? Raw talent? Did they win some kind of genetic lottery at birth? You know, for decades, people have been totally obsessed with this question, just trying to crack the code.
And you know what? The answer isn't magic at all. It's a mechanism. Thanks to the groundbreaking work of Stephen Covey, we know now that being effective isn't some trait you're born with. Nope, it's a skill you build. It's a framework of habits that literally anyone can learn.
Okay, so how does this whole mechanism actually work? I mean, where do you even start? Well, the entire journey, it begins from the inside out. Seriously, before you can even think about managing a project or leading a team, you've got to master your own inner world first. That's the foundation. Everything else is built on top of this.
So this foundation, it's built on three really powerful mindsets. First up, you have to be proactive. This is the big one, the idea that you are the driver of your own life, not just the passenger along for the ride. Once you really grab that wheel, you can then consciously choose optimism. You start reframing problems as just, puzzles to be solved. And what fuels all of this? Gratitude. It completely shifts your focus from what you don't have to the abundance that's already there.
Now, building on top of that mindset is this next habit: begin with the end in mind. What does that mean? It's basically about creating your own personal constitution. Just think about that for a second. Having a clear, written guide that acts as your personal North Star. It makes sure that every single big decision you make is actually steering you in the direction you want to go.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract theory. The whole process involves asking yourself some really deep, clarifying questions. Like, what is the single most impactful thing I could do in my professional life? And what about your personal life? Answering questions like these, that's how you go from having a vague sense of purpose to a rock-solid, actionable vision.
But here's the thing. A vision without action is, well, it's just a dream, right? So once you've built that solid inner foundation, the very next step is to master your actions. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty, the practical structure of how you actually get stuff done.
And the core habit here is to put first things first. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But man, it is one of the hardest things to do consistently. It really means getting past the trap of just being busy and instead focusing your energy on the tasks that truly matter. The ones that actually move you closer to that end in mind we were just talking about.
So how do you do that? Well, the most powerful tool for this is something called the time management matrix. It basically divides everything you do into 4 quadrants. Now, most of us, we get trapped in quadrant 1. That's the world of crises, deadlines, putting out fires. Or we escape to the easy distractions of quadrants 3 and 4. But the real secret of effective people, they intentionally, purposefully design their lives to spend as much time as possible in quadrant 2. That's the zone of planning, prevention, and real strategic growth.
And the process itself is actually pretty simple, but the result is profound. Just by listing out your tasks and then sorting them by what's urgent and what's important, you get this brutally honest picture of where your time is really going. See, it's not about magically finding more time. It's about making the time you have actually matter. This right here, this is the moment you stop being reactive and start being truly strategic. But you gotta remember, a tool like this matrix is totally useless without the engine that drives it, self-discipline. That's the thing that gives you the power to say no to interruptions and to resist all those time wasters. It's all about building routines that make focusing on that important stuff in quadrant 2 your automatic default, not something you have to fight for every single day. Okay, so you've mastered your inner world, you've mastered your actions, but let's be real, lasting success is almost never a solo sport. So now we get to the peak of the pyramid, mastering your relationships. This is all about how you interact, communicate, and collaborate with other people. And the absolute key that unlocks this level is emotional intelligence. And listen, it's so much more than just being nice. It's this incredible ability to understand and manage your own emotional state while also being able to read and connect with the emotions of others. If you work with other people, which is pretty much everyone, this isn't some soft skill. It is a massive strategic advantage. And according to the psychologist Daniel Goleman, emotional intelligence is really built in layers. It all starts with self-awareness and self-regulation. Which, hey, that's mastering your inner world,
something we've already talked about. But then it expands outward, to your own motivation, to having genuine empathy for other people, and finally, to the social skills you need to build really strong, productive connections. Right at the heart of all these social skills is this really delicate communication balance. Think of it like a two-sided coin. On one side, you've got active listening. That's the discipline to really, truly seek to understand someone else before you try to make them understand you. And on the other side, assertive communication, having the courage to express your own ideas and needs, but clearly and respectfully. The people who are masters of effectiveness, they are brilliant at both.
And when you combine that emotional intelligence with really effective communication, boom, you unlock truly powerful collaboration. It all starts with a think win-win mindset. You're not just trying to get the biggest piece of the pie for yourself, you're trying to figure out how to make the entire pie bigger for everyone. That's what allows you to synergize, to create something together that's way bigger than what any one person could do on their own. And the glue that holds it all together? Trust.
So let's recap. We've got the foundation, which is your mindset. We've got the structure, which is your actions. And we have the peak, which is your relationships. But what keeps this whole system from just collapsing under pressure? Well, there's one final crucial habit that ties it all together, that makes it sustainable, and that is the habit of renewal.
Stephen Covey had a great name for this, sharpening the saw. And you have to understand, this isn't just one more habit to add to your to-do list. No, this is the habit that makes all the other habits possible. If you neglect this one, the entire framework just slowly, painfully grinds to a halt.
So what does it actually mean to sharpen the saw? It means you have to consistently invest time in the 4 key dimensions of your life: your physical health, your mental growth, your emotional connections, and, yeah, your spiritual core. I mean, think about it. You are your most important asset. So are you giving yourself the maintenance you need to perform at your absolute best?
So, there you have it. That's the complete framework. It goes from inner mastery to effective action to powerful collaboration, all of it held up by constant renewal. You've seen the blueprint. Now the only question left is, which one of these blocks are you going to build first?